Hi guys, coming to you live from my home gym. So I'm in my garage right now. This is where I do all of my workouts. So today I want to talk to you guys about bands. So I get a lot of questions from clients that are just starting off and they say, what type of bands should I get for the workout? So the workouts that I prescribe in my online training programs, a lot of times we use various bands along with dumbbells. So today I'm just going to go through the types of bands I have in my own gym and what I personally use them for, because there's a lot of different styles, and it kind of depends on what you're doing for your workouts. I also have ones that I don't use that frequently, so maybe that can save me from purchasing some. So I'm going to start with these ones here. So these long looped bands, looped from top to bottom, these are called super bands, okay? So there's a lot of different brands for these, but generally they're going to come in a pack of maybe 4 or 5, and they have different thicknesses. So the thicker the band, the stronger the resistance. These bands I really like for a lot of back exercises. So pull downs, wide, narrow, straight arm pull downs, things where you're hanging that band high and you're pulling down. These ones are really great for. If you're someone that wants to work on your pull-ups and you want to work on band assisted pull-ups, this is the type of band that you'd want to get as well. So these are generally pretty strong. They do have kind of a thin resistance down there. The blue is a thin resistance, but they're all a little bit stronger than most other brands will come. So this is really great for, the big muscles on your back where you're gonna want a lot of resistance. So if you're someone that's used like cable systems before, this is the great home version of that, is to get a pair of these bands. And like I said, they do come in a pack, so you can kind of get a bunch all at once. I think our brands that we have here are Rogue Fitness, but there is a couple different styles out there. The next band I want to talk about is this one is a little bit more typical of the band. This is the long band with the handles, okay? So the brand that a lot of people ask me, what's the best brand? The best brand I like is called Spry, S-P-R-I. These are the ones, this is the style that you're gonna find in a lot of gyms. They're meant for high volume use, which means they last for a very long time. There's other brands that you can get like TJ Maxx or Target or different things like that. But just in my own personal experience, I find the tubing, maybe it just doesn't last as long. There's nothing wrong with them. But the Spry bands, like we've had these for years and they'll last forever, and I have absolutely no fraying or no issues with them. These bands are very multi-use, okay? So I use these a lot with my programming for lower body exercises, for squats, for anything that you kind of prefer to have a hand on. Think like bicep curls, rows, things like that. So this is kind of like a must-have, I think, if you are doing any sort of band work. Those lat pull downs and things that I was talking about, you can still use them with this. This is just, generally speaking, these are gonna feel like a little bit lighter resistance than those thick super bands, okay? But you could do the same exercises with these bands. So Spry is the brand that I like. You can get them on Amazon. This is a red band. There's a lot of different resistances. If you're just getting one, get like something intermediate or in the middle. That way you can make it a little easier and you can make it a little harder. But you can also get, of course, different resistance sizes based on wherever your current level of fitness is at, okay? So you can see we have a couple ones here. We do have some that have kind of special tubing in the middle. Maybe I'll pull one of those out so you can see. This is also a Spry band. This is a green band, but then it's got a tubing in the middle. This is if you tend to use your bands around like rough surfaces, like maybe you're putting it over like a metal bar, or maybe if you use like an outside, like a coconut tree or something where you're wrapping your band around. This just adds a extra layer of protection so your band doesn't fray quite as quickly, okay? So that's just a different style. I wouldn't say that I necessarily need that just for kind of my general use of the band, but we do have a couple of those. The next ones, I'll go with all the kind of open ones first, but the long bands first, is this kind. This is the TheraBand. So if you've ever been in physical therapy before and they've given you a band when you're leaving, this might be it. So it usually comes in a long tube and it's just rolled up, and your therapist will, take a long portion and snip it with scissors, okay? So again, it kind of depends on what kind of resistance. I have one, my blue one is a little thicker, my red one is a little thinner. This is just, again, one that you might have lying around. You can do pretty much all the exercises that you could do with the handles with this type of band. It's just maybe not going to be as comfortable because you don't have that hand grip onto it. But I do use this sometimes when I'm doing an exercise, maybe like a pull apart, where I'm actually going to be grabbing onto the band part itself. Maybe I'll use this one instead. Moving on to loop bands. So loop bands, also called mini bands sometimes, they're the smaller bands that are kind of like a circle, okay? So completely connected around in a circle, kind of like your super band, but very small. So these ones I really love. So these ones are great for a lot of lower body exercises. You can put them around your knees, around your ankles, things like that for a lot of lower body movements, okay? So these ones, this Go Fit brand, it comes in a pack of 3. You can get these at Target. I like the thicker band when it comes to this, okay? The thicker diameter. The reason being, it's gonna go around your legs, it's gonna go around your ankles, and the real thin ones, they kind of cut into you. We have some of those, just like our super bands. Look, we have these ones that are really thin. These are fine, there's nothing wrong with them. You can do the same exercise, but I just think the thin band, it really cuts into your ankle or into your leg, and it kind of hurts when you're doing the exercise. The wide, thick band is a lot nicer. So we tend to never really even use these. I think they might have came in a pack that we bought previously. So I say go with a thick band. Those ones, these ones are real nice there. I also have some cloth ones. So again, based on how strong you are, if you're someone that's pretty strong and you're really like stretching that band, it's easier to snap. Those Go Fit ones are a little thin. So I have these cloth ones. Again, I think I got these on Amazon. These are real thick, okay? So when I'm doing like squats or something like that, or a hip thrust or something, these are really great because these are not gonna snap anytime soon. Okay, so cloth ones are really good if you if you're kind of a little bit stronger and you're worried about ripping or tearing your bands, you might wanna purchase some cloth ones. All of them tend to come in like packs of a couple, so you get at least a couple of different resistances with every band that you get. The last type of loop band I have is another Spry loop band. This one has ankle attachments on the sides. So this is, again, it's just kind of getting fancy. Like I said, we have a lot of bands in my house, so we have a lot of different styles. I do like to use these ones though when I do leg curls or leg extensions. So I will actually wrap one side around the bottom of like my barbell or around like a table, and then I'll put the other around my ankle to do curls or extensions, anything like that. It's just comfortable to have a little cushion for your ankle, but it's not necessary. I could use my other loop bands to do the same exact thing. So, moral of the story is there's a lot of bands out there. If you were just to purchase 1 or 2 just to get you started, I would say get a band with handles, okay? Get it somewhere in a medium resistance, so you're gonna be able to make it a little harder if you need to, or make it a little easier. And then get yourself a loop band, or a set of loop bands. So with that one single band and your loop band, you should pretty much be able to do every single exercise. That's a great place to get started. As you get stronger, you might want to invest in maybe like a super band would be a great third purchase when it comes to bands. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that shed some light on different styles of band. Just know that you can kind of use whatever you can get access to, but bands are relatively cheap too. So they're really a good investment for working out at home. Easy to store. Since I have so many, that's why I store them like this. You could just wrap them up and throw them in your drawer. So have fun shopping. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me and I can answer them. Have a great day.